Meet George, the proprietor of Headges, a custom tailor specializing in high quality selvage denim. He integrates medium weight denim fabrics from Japan, stitches in Kiev, Ukraine, and takes influence from the vast history of denim culture, plus his own reimaginings. Founded in 2014, Headges originally made limited run varieties, such as the Skinny Tom, Lamont, and the Audrey for the ladies. The cuts reflect the denim culture during the first decades of the century as it applies to a stylishly popular audience. Skinny jean hipsters from the 2000s. Influencing the world, but made with the burgeoning selvage denim made to fade market. These would be considered collector's items at this point. Although my favorite of his earlier pairs, maybe it's one of his middle stage, is what looks like the LVC Cone Mills White Oak Box Edition. Love that variation of different hues of denim. Over the decade, George would transform Headges from the batch item company into the high-quality tailor-made service it is today. Headges' bespoke denim is wearable denim art that harkens back to Jacob Davis's days as a Nevada tailor on the cusp of designing something that is more than just useful. It might define the next century. There's a dash of affordable mail-order Savile Row, but better because it's denim. George's signature touches are chain stitching, his hypnotizing spiral needlework, the H arcuate, the blue and yellow threads for a time when patriotism is needed. I was instantly impressed by the high quality craftsmanship of these denim items. Flipping through the Instagram page, I spotted his blueprint for the denim half kimono. Amazingly inventive and an astute reflection of the culture. Analysis of detail. George took my ideas and made something better than what I could have thought of. I am so pleased with this pair, and so is my wife. I wanted a pair that reflected the overall dude ranch styles of the 701s from 1940s to 1960s. High-waisted, wide hip, but instead of being super long, the custom pair would rely on hemming and sit much shorter with a slightly tapering at the end. What George made is a masterpiece. I spent the first week finding Easter egg details every day in every corner. Everything was way above my expectations. The arcuate. Hedges use their signature arcuate style, and what he does is calligraphy with the needle and the letter H. The use of chain stitching is amazing. This evolved over the last decade from a lowercase to an uppercase H. The initial reminds me of the Wrangler's W, but it is more stylized than that. The ghost tab. This is so cool. Just stitching where the red tab would have been. Like an epitome to the iconic red tab invented by Charles Lucier at Levi's in 1936. And this pair of jeans is aware of the past, but doing her own thing. V-stitch, a classic era callback. Laurel leaf donut buttons, a reference to the era 1940s. My wife doesn't have a pair with them, and they are definitely the most beautiful standard buttons. Stamped rivets. The typeset is so minute, it makes for a very intricate rivet. The label represents the legendary founders of Kiev. Key, Shek, Korov, and that's their sister Lebed in front. Exposed selvage line on the watch pocket. This is a detail the modern raw selvage community is keen on. Unless you're cuffing up, then this is the only way you see that they're wearing selvage. Stitches between buttonholes. This is genius. Keeps the body warmer. Stitches between buttonholes. This is genius. Keeps the body warmer. To talk about the fabric for a second. The denim is 15-ounce white selvage denim from Japan. The weft has a slightly gray tone to it, and the texture of the denim is slightly bumpy, almost snappy. It has the warm hue of almost one wash. Pocket bags are made from sturdy brick, red canvas. Another unique touch as it slightly peeks out to viewers. The chain stitching on the hemming makes you really want to show it off by cuffing it up. Triple seat stitching, top notch craftsmanship. This is one of the many details that this pair has that even I don't have in my huge collection. No mass produced company would allow this without charging triple, but it looks so cool. I love the color themes of yellow, orange, and red, blending hue that signifies the classic to retro eras of jeans from the 1950s to 60s. The customized suede patch. Most of my wife's jeans are cloth patch, a couple leather, and a few pleather. The suede adds softness and beauty with the grain. The super cute sunflower logo stitched is a touch Georgie added, just makes the pair special on a whole nother level. It feels like the biggest signifier to the world that this is a legit unique pair of jeans. The fringe. This is a special detail you only get from tailored clothing. Made from the chain stitching to be stronger and more gorgeous. This pair of jeans has two. One longer one, 4 centimeters, in the rear right pocket towards the outside bar tack. This is the more visible one to show it off. Then there's the hidden shorter one, about a centimeter, at the front top button, just for you to see. Wear it sticking out or tuck it in. It is not for the rough and tough, but rather the signal that this item was made with intent and not mass manufactured. The colored threads in the bottom holes. The colored threads in the bottom holes, this is so playful. It feels like a burst of energy. The color pattern throughout is a fun mix of the blue and yellow Ukraine colors with the orange red threads from the 20th century denim. The front left belt loop has blue yellow stitching, as does the top line of the watch pocket, a nod to Ukraine. The inside stitching of the belt loops are red and white for Poland, where we live. The most incredible stitching that you can see outside is the run along stitch that follows the fly. You can trace it and see the unique flow of this pair, another sign of true tailored workmanship. Around the pocket, it recalls the curves of Jacob Davis's pantaloons. Around the fly, it has a western motif. At the right front pocket, it looks mathematical, like particle collision. Now for the creme de la creme. Open up the jeans, and the custom pockets have personalized embroidery in chain stitching to my wife from Den. George even added a handwritten signature on it. Then the other pocket is one of these elements that puts Hedges on the level of denim art. A one of a kind stitched sunflower. The use of the circular sewing attachment has the impasto effect so reminiscent of Van Gogh. Adding imagery to denim is a fine line between a nice touch and going overboard. This pair finds the ideal balance with size, style, and placement. What are the most beautiful pairs of jeans in the world? Maybe it's the current trend, but I would put something like the Sashiko pairs as really intricate and towards the top of this list at the moment. It can tell a story and has both strong and delicate properties. If you're not on the Sashiko train, then check it out. I must mention the earlier denim art of the late 20th century. I think the work of Henry Hawk is a mix of fashion and art, but I would describe his work as more playful, handsome, not the belle of the ball for a boho lady. I dig it. I dig his work because he's very in tune with the historical trends, but reimagining them. The pairs I've seen with embroidered flowers on the outside are cute, but they often cross the line of high fashion to fun kitsch very quickly. I conclude that these are the most beautiful pair of jeans I have ever seen. They are specifically made for my wife in mind. So far, it does what I really want to see in denim items. The reimagining of denim items through a historically aware lens with a fantastical twist, yet combined in a classy style that will remain timeless. When I opened it, I knew this would be a family heirloom for generations. Ordering information. If you want to get your own Headges item, shirt, jeans, or some other beautiful denim item, custom made, contact him on Instagram. He will send you a Google sheet for pants or shirt and then tell you which measurements to take. You're going to pick the items that you have that fit the best. Try definitely not to use anything stretchy. That doesn't really satisfy the point because it will stretch. You want non-stretch denim that you have that fits you well in the waist, in the thighs. Get all those measurements and then you're going to take those down. Please watch this video, and here it explains how you go from the edge to the edge.
So you lie them flat and you need to check if the back is flat, and so you straighten the back, and here you have the fold of the sitting seam. The widest measurement is measured from the fold, from the edge of the fold, like that, to the outer edge, like that. And all the other measurements are taken respectively 10 centimeters lower and 10 centimeters again, or 20 from 10 and 20 from the starting point. Of course, full width from edge to the outer edge.
As far as time, let's just say give it 8 months. I do this to be safe. It could take longer, but it also could be a lot less. Don't rush it. That's not how bespoke denim works. As far as requests, this is the cool part, is you can ask him for almost anything from historical features, and he is knowledgeable. He is aware of cinch buckles, exposed rivets, M-line waist curves. He does the fine tailoring details like fringe, lining, run-along threads. He can custom embroider and calligraphy lettering or an image. And just be respectful, ask for something unique, and allow room for his artistic freedom. I lived in Poland for 8 years, and like clockwork, every 2 years, the populace fears a Russian invasion. Then in March 2022, Russian troops invaded Ukraine. Polish airports and train stations were filled with families trying to escape. There was a real sense of brotherhood between Poles and Ukrainians for about 6 months. I hope peace happens soon, but I know a truce is just a temporary band-aid on a tumor. There are some bad actors in this world, and we need more people like the soldiers and citizens of Ukraine who have given one hell of a fight. George's continuation to make high-quality selvage denim reflects the spirit of Ukraine and the denim community. Denim was one of the fingers that took down the Soviet dictatorship of the 20th century. Sometimes doing daily things has the power to go a long way. Between 2022 and 2025, Kiev endured repeated waves of missile and drone attacks. Winter blackouts, damaging heat lines, and nights broken by the echo of air raid sirens. Yet the city kept going. Lights came back on, people returned to their workspaces, and life resumed in small but defiant ways. In those same moments, George continued his craft, stitching through outages and interruptions, a quiet reminder that creation itself can be a form of resistance.